everyone, Emily Baker here with Erin Simons with the Mega Listing Agent. Erin, today we're going to talk about what mistakes not to make at a listing appointment.
Yeah, Emily, you might be too young, but did you ever watch David Letterman growing up? I'm laughing as I'm asking because of course he didn't. So he always had his top 10 list, right? Every week he'd do his top 10 list. So we're doing our top, and it might be a top 8 list of don't make these mistakes when showing up to the listing appointment. You ready?
Ready?
So, all right, number 1, arrive late. Why do we even have to say that?
Well, you'd be surprised. And to us, if we want you to be there 10 minutes early, right? 10 minutes early equals on time. You want to walk up to the door 5 minutes early, as you always say. You want to hear the vacuum going,
Right.
right? And acknowledge that you're early. The reality is that a lot of real estate agents are late. If for some reason you're going to be late, right? Traffic, accident, something that isn't uncontrollable, just call. Shoot a text, right? Just be conscientious of their time and respecting that both of our time is valuable.
Yeah, you don't want to start with a check mark next to your name, right? All right, number 2, be underdressed. Again, why do we even have to say that one?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, every time you're walking in the door, that's a $10,000+ opportunity, right? Are you showing up like it's that opportunity?
Yeah, you can't show up in yoga pants or
No,
flip-flops and board shorts. You got to show up prepared to talk to them about the most important and expensive investment in their life, their home, right?
exactly right.
All right, number 3, do not show up unprepared to discuss price. I know this one's controversial because some people like to do what we call the 2-step, right? Let me first come out and see it, then I'll come back and present about it. Yet we're professionals. We should at least ahead of time be able to do enough research to be able to discuss price at that first appointment. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I always say, get a 5 to 7 photos of the property ahead of time. Have them just shoot a few photos of the most important parts, such that conditionally what you're walking into. And if you're not if you're not there, like solidifying the price, we're not doing our job as listing agents, because at the end of the day, we're there to help them get clear. And most sellers, all they need is financial clarity. What is my net? Does this make sense, right? If you line up 100 sellers, they're all going to tell you, yes, I want to make top dollar in today's market.
Exactly right. And if you did a great job pre-qualifying, there shouldn't be any curveballs thrown your way that you didn't know before you got there.
That's right.
All right, ready? Number 4, do not handle compensation before your value proposition.
Huge. In the absence of value, it's always a compensation conversation.
Yeah, and listen, sometimes sellers, they don't know what else to ask. So sometimes they lead with, well, what do you charge? And yet, if you haven't yet shared with them what you're going to do, how can you discuss what the charge is going to be?
Yeah, that's a great question, Erin. We're definitely going to go over compensation and what that looks like when we get financially clear.
That's right. So don't fall into that trap. You're not answering the question, but let me first tell you what I'm going to do, and then let me share with you what it's going to cost.
That's
Does
right.
that make sense? Of course. Okay, ready? This one, I love this one. Do not sit on the couch instead of the table, or at the table, we should say. Don't sit on the table. Why,
Yeah.
why is sitting at the table so important versus sitting on the couch in the living room?
So discussions are where the living room is had, and decisions are where the kitchen table is had. So when it's too casual in the living room. There's too many distractions. We are having a consultation, a strategy session on how we're going to net them the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the least amount of hassle. We need to be able to show them, walk them through, get them in a spot where there are no distractions, and have that professional conversation.
Yeah, the couch is for visiting, the table is for business. We're there to do business, we're not there to visit.
Yep.
All right, ready? Number 6.
Yep.
Do not tell them what's wrong with their home on the walkthrough. This is a big pitfall that a lot of agents fall into.
Yeah. That 100%. So when you're in the walkthrough, the most important thing is your goal is to compliment, to connect, right? Your goal is to build rapport. If they ask you, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Don't fall into that trap, because at the end of the day, you don't know what their budget is.
Right.
You don't know how they feel about their home yet, right? They could be thinking that it's a castle and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this looks like it's straight out of the 70s, right? You don't know what you don't know. So in the walkthrough, we want to keep it positive and we want to keep it professional. And when we get to the table, and going through what we're going to do to get their home from living condition to showing condition, we can address those at that time.
That's right, because you might be spending money they don't have on that walkthrough. And again, that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of.
That's right.
And if they do ask you, hey, what should I do with this room? Do you think I should update the bathroom? You know what, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let me finish getting through the whole tour of the home, and then I'll share with you my recommendations.
Yep.
You're not going to not do that, yet the walkthrough is not the place or the time to do it, right? Okay, ready? Number 7.
Yep.
Oh, this is deadly. Do not present to only one decision maker. So if you show up and there's only one decision maker there because the other one got caught up at work, the cardinal sin, do not present to him. Why is that so? Why is that such a mistake if you choose to present?
They're not as good as a salesperson as you, right? You need to present to all decision makers to make sure that we're on the same page and to make a decision. How many times have we presented to one decision maker and they say, I need to speak to my partner, I need to speak to my spouse, right? And at the end of the day, that's preventing, you don't know what you don't know. The spouse could have a friend that's in real estate and could be talking to them on the side and go, oh, well, she was referred with this. So we're going to interview her, but I really want to use you, right? Like you don't know what you don't know.
That's right. So if only one decision maker is there, either wait or reschedule. You can still walk through, you can still meet and greet, you can still get a lay of the land, but by no means are you going to do your presentation without the other decision maker.
That's right.
We call it getting spoused.
Yes.
You're going to get spoused. All right, ready? And last but not least, number 8, do not leave without the decision made to hire you. So Emily, we see it all the time.
Yep.
Listing agents leave too soon. They show up and they present great information and then they leave, thinking that, oh, this was really great. Everybody loved each other. Of course, they're going to hire me. Of course, they're not. If you leave without that decision made to hire you with a signed listing agreement, there's a less than 75% chance that you're going to get that listing. Someone's going to show up and someone's going to outsell you and they're going to win that listing.
Yeah. And on the flip side of that, a lot of times what we also hear, Aaron, is, well, they're not ready. They have so much to do before, right? Okay, well, let's get a commitment for a listing, right? And that's one of the things that we go through in our course is, well, how do you get the commitment if we're not prepared or ready for a full listing agreement? So at the end of the day, if you leave it up to them, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what conversations, who at church that is like, oh, you should talk to this person, and you connected really well, and then that person closed them.
That's right. So fasten your seatbelt, right? Stay in a little bit longer than what you think is comfortable because that's when decisions are made.
That's right.
All right. Do you think this was helpful? I know we only did 8. We didn't do the classic Letterman top 10, but I think these are, 8 really good mistakes that you want to avoid.
Yeah, absolutely.